Ladies and gentlemen, today I'm going to discuss about Maulana Jalaluddin Rumi's poems. So I got some quotes from him. I'm going to discuss about his quotes, and also before I am going into his quotes in order to discuss, I have to read his three of his poems. Okay, so I'm going to read out his three poems, and when I read the three of his poems, then you would know who Rumi is, who really Rumi is. So before I am going to discuss about Rumi's work, I have to say something about Rumi. Maulana Jalaluddin Muhammad Rumi, also known as Rumi, in Persian language, Maulana means masters. So most popularly, he is known as Rumi. So not Rumi's poems are very influential, motivational, full of wisdom and philosophy. And his poems influence influence people all over the world. It influenced me as well. He Once you read his poems, definitely it would help you. I mean, his poems would help you to change your way of life. So it's worth it studying his poem. You get my point? Okay. So earlier on, I said Rumi's poems influence people all over the world, but also it influenced my life as well. It helps me to change my way of life. So I got benefited from studying Rumi's poems. Okay. So one thing I need to say here: his poems have been widely translated into many of the world's language. Rumi has been described described as the most popular poet and the best-selling poet in United States. So this is Rumi. So I have to discuss about Rumi's poems. I have to discuss the quotes from Rumi's poems. So I got all of them in front of me. So before I do this, I dare to read out his one of his poems. So if I once I read these poems out to you, then you would know what was Rumi's religion, who was actually Rumi, and what philosophy he really upheld, or by what philosophy he lived his life. So let me read his poem. Um, I'm going to read his poem out to you. So let's begin with his poem. Nor Christian or Jew or Muslim, not Hindu, Buddhist, Sufi or Jain, not any religion or cultural system. I am not from the east or the west, not out of the ocean or up from the ground, not natural or ethereal, not composed of elements at all. I do not exist. I am not any entity in this world or the next, did not descend from Adam and Eve or any origin story. My place is the placeless, a trace of the traceless, neither body or soul. I belong to the beloved, have seen the two worlds as one, and that one called to and know. First, last, outer, inner, only that breathing human being. Okay. This poem is called Breath. This is very famous poem. So let me explain some lines from the poems. Okay. Um, in this poem, Rumi said he doesn't exist. Basically, we never exist. Our existence should be explained by many things. Do you really exist? Question yourself. Basically, we do not exist. It might be any illusion or something else. Who knows? Okay. So Rumi clearly said, he is nor Christian, nor Jew, nor Muslim, nor Hindu, Buddhist, even he is not Sufi either. Not any religion. So he doesn't belong to any religion, or any religion doesn't belong to him. So who is he then? Who is he? Rumi clearly said he belonged to the beloved, hmm, who seen the two worlds, first, last, outer, inner, only that breath, breathing human being. So he identify himself, or recognize himself, or class himself as only human being. That's all. So Rumi is only a human being. It makes sense. To understand this poem, we have to go through the philosophy. So because I got no time to discuss about the Rumi's philosophy, I leave it these things here. So Rumi clearly said he got no place. He's not from this world. He's not from the other world. He is nothing. He doesn't exist. So who is he then? We have to understand these things um, by reading his all these poems, or we have to study his philosophy to understand his poems. So simply speaking, I would like to say one thing, that Rumi's religion is mankind. That's it. Because he clearly said he's only a human being. And in his poem, he said he's neither Christian nor Jew, Muslim, Hindu, or anything. Problem solved. Okay. Now, many people think Rumi was proper Muslim and he was a Sufi poet. So, is that true? I have to read out another poem. So, by reading this poem, I would like to explain something from this poem. So, in this poem, Rumi clearly mentioned where he found his inner God. I mean, where he found his creator. Okay, so let me read this poem out to you. In this poem, I'm reading this poem out to you. Let's begin with the poem. I searched for God among the Christians and on the cross, and therein I found him not. I went into the ancient temples of idolatry, no trace of him. He wasn't there. So Rumi clearly said in these two lines, he looked for God among Christian, and when he couldn't find God among Christian, he tried to find Christian on the cross. Sorry, he tried to find his God on the cross, but he couldn't find God there. Then he went to the many temples of the pagans. Even he couldn't find any trace of his God at all. So next line. So where he's going to find the God, we'll find out. We'll find out in the end of this poem. Okay. Then he said, on third line, he said, I enter the mountains cave of Hira. You know where the Hira is? The in the cave of Hira, Prophet Muhammad was believed to have received the revelation from his Allah. Okay, so Rumi entered the mountain cave of Hira, thinking that he would find Allah in the Hira, in the cave of Hira, because Muhammad got revelation from the Hira. So Rumi thought like that. Okay, so he went there, then went as far as Kandahar. Kandahar is a place called Kandahar is a place in Afghanistan. Okay, so when he entered the mountain cave of Hira, he couldn't find Allah or God there. Then he went as far as Afghanistan, but God I found not with set purpose, but he couldn't find God there as well. So we find out what he found out, that he searched for God among the Christian, Hindu, Buddhist, but couldn't find his God among them. Or he went to the temples, thinking God existed in the temple, but he couldn't find any God there. Walked into the mosque, couldn't find God there. Walked up the mountain of the mountain called Hira, and entered the cave of the Hira. He couldn't find God here. So he couldn't find God anywhere where he looked for his God. Then what he said, then I directed my search to the Kaaba. Then he went to the Kaaba, because you know why he went to the Kaaba? Because Kaaba is the called Baitullah, the house of God. So Rumi thought he would go to Kaaba and find his God. Okay, let's see what he said. The reason of old and young, God was not there even. So the mosque called is the Baitullah, the God of the house of Allah. He even couldn't find God, couldn't find his Allah here. I mean Allah there. So turning to the philosophy, I inquired about him from Ibn Sina. Ibn Sina. Okay, but found not him, not within his range. Okay, so he turned to some other philosophers. He thought some Muslim philosophers would be able to explain the nature of the God or help him out with finding his own God. But he studied all the philosophers' work, but he couldn't find any God. I mean, he couldn't find his God um, in from the philosophical work as well. So he was really disappointed uh, because he couldn't find God. Then what he said, because he couldn't find his own God from the philosophy, the work of the philosophers. So he tried to find out God in other way around. So what he said again, I feared then to the scene of the prophet experience of a great divine manifestations only a two bow lengths or lengths distance from him, I mean God. But God was not there even in that existed court. Finally, I looked into my own heart, and then I saw him. He was nowhere else. Clearly, Rumi said he looked for God everywhere in the world, but he couldn't find God, God at all. So think about where people regularly go looking for God. Rumi couldn't find his God these sort of places. So that's mean people can't find their own God, the creator of universe, in their worship places. They can't find their God in the mosque, temple, or elsewhere. But they think if they constantly go to the mosque, they would find their own God. But Rumi clearly mentioned that he did try, but he couldn't find God. So even my point is, if Rumi couldn't find his God going to the mosque, temple, church, how come ordinary people would be able to find their God? It is impossible. A philosophy, sorry, a Sufi poet with high level of philosophy and wisdom couldn't find God entering the mosque, temple, and church, and ordinary religious people would find God going to these places. It's unbelievable. It is almost impossible. Okay. So Rumi pointed out that his God is in his heart. So that's the place God exists. That's Rumi's point of view because he believes in God, but I don't believe in God. So this is Rumi's point of view. I'm going to read out another poem. Yeah, this is amazing poem. Yeah, Rumi said in his poem, "I died to the mineral state and become a plant. I died to the vegetal state and reach animality. I died to the animal state and become a man." Let me explain these two lines. Rumi said, when he died, yeah, uh, he turns into soil, yeah, and then he became a plant again. Hmm. He became a plant from the soil. Okay. Then he died again, and reached the animality. So this is kind of evolution. Rumi died first, yeah, and he changed himself into mineral state, and then he became a plant, yeah, and then the plant died again, yeah? Then this plant become vegetables, and then from vegetables, um, he changed himself into an animal. Himself into an animal. Then he died as the animal and became a man, human being. Can you imagine? Nearly 1,000 years ago, Rumi explained the process of evolution. So I'm not going into this in details. Let me read out the next line from his this poem. This poet, he said, "Then what should I fear? I have never become less from the dying." So why he should be scared of? So why he should be scared of death? Death is not the end of the life. It's a process of the life. That's what he meant. So he should not be scared of the death, or he should not fear death. Acha. Let's see what he says. The next part here. At the next charge, I will die to human nature, so that I may lift up my head and wings among the angels. That means he's saying, okay, I have gone through all this process. I died, and then I become like soil, or mean I turn myself into the mineral state, and then become a plant. Then from plant again, I become vegetables. From vegetables again, then I evolve myself into an animal. Then I died again as animal, and then I became a human being. So after that, my evolution process is over. So what I am going to be? I have to be something else. Then I am going to be the angel. Okay. So from angel, what he is going to be, um, you can't believe it. Let's see what he says. And he says, "And I must jump from the river of the state of the angel. Everything perishes except his peace, except his face. I mean God. Hmm. Everything, everything disappear, everything die except God. Once again, I will become sacrifice from the state of the angel. I will become that which cannot come into the imagination." Can you imagine? He said, I'm going to be angel through the evolution process, and then what I'm going to be next, you cannot imagine. What is going to be next? His final stage is he is going to be the God. He is going to be one with God. Eh? So that's why he said, you ordinary people cannot imagine these sort of things. That's what he meant. So then I'll become non existence. He said, then I am eternal. I do not exist anymore. Non existence says to me like an organ. So this is his, this theory is called spiritual evolution. So you can say Rumi introduced evolution theory to the mankind. Not it's not. It wasn't only the Rumi who introduced evolution to us. Um, Al Jahid, one of the Muslim scientists called Al Jahid, he wrote a book called Natural Selection, and in his book, he explained all about evolution process. So I'm not going to. You can. I'm not saying Rumi's spiritual evolution theory contributed to the evolution, biological evolution, but however, is worth it. Think about his poems. So I'm not. I think I have discussed about three of his poems, taking 21 minutes. So I'm going to read his some quotes, and I'm going to explain one by one. Let me read the first quote. Acha. Rumi said, forget safety, leave where. Sorry, read me. Let me read it again. Forget safety, leave where you fear to live. Destroy your reputation, be notorious. Wow, amazing. He said, don't worry about your safety. Live in a place where you fear to live. Destroy your reputation, be notorious. Be desperate. You do not fear anything. If you fear anything, you won't be able to do anything. You won't succeed in doing anything. No risks, no gain. Simply speaking. Okay. So many people fear many things in the world. People fear the death. People fear the deep forest. People fear the entering the lift. People fear the height of the building. Even some people do not fly with an aeroplane because they think that if aeroplane has an accident, they may die. Can you imagine? So Rumi saying, Rumi is saying, forget your safety. You have to, if you want to overcome the fear, confront the fear. If you fear if you fear some things, just you embrace it. Yeah. If you fear the spider, yeah, and you become unconscious, seeing the spider, put the spider in your hand, and that's how you overcome the fear of spider. So we have to overcome our fear. Yeah. We have to overcome the fear of death, overcome the fear of unnecessary thing that doesn't exist at all. So most of the things we are scared of or we fear do not exist. So Rumi said, destroy your reputation, confront them, embrace them, hug them, then you will overcome the fear. Remember one thing, if you fear many things, then you are not a happy person. You are always anxious. So I'm not going into going into details about it. Okay. Next quote is, yesterday I was clever, so I wanted to change the world. Today I am wise, so I am changing myself. Rumi said, yesterday he was clever, he wanted to change the world. Today he is wise because he is going to change himself. That is absolutely true. If I want to change the world, I cannot change the world. But however, I can change myself. I can change my attitude towards people. I can change my bad behavior. I can change my bad habit. I can change my way of life. I can change my lifestyle. But if I want to change somebody else, it would be very hard for me to change change someone. So I can change myself. And if I change myself, I can change the whole world. When people see me as a different person, then they are going to be convinced by me. So first of all, I got to change myself. I must change myself. Then automatically other people change themselves. I don't have to change them. So if you are a wise person, first of all, you got to change yourself. I can change my I can change anything that is in my control. And a wise person change the things that are which are in his own control. I cannot change anything that is beyond my control. I cannot change the British weather. Can you imagine? I cannot change the weather. I cannot change the atmosphere, but I can change myself. I can change my I can change my things in my flat or house. That's it. Simple. Okay. Rumi, third quote. The number third quote is from Rumi. He said, "You are not a drop in the ocean. You are the entire ocean in a drop." Rumi said, don't you think you are a small drop in the ocean? The entire ocean is in a small drop. So by this saying, Rumi tried to explain that we human beings hold up the entire universe. All right. So that's the important thing. So I can't explain everything in detail. So let me touch them, yeah, one by one. Okay. Rumi said, if you are irritated by every rub, if you are irritated by every rub, how will your mirror be polished? Wow, amazing. Rumi said, a mirror cannot be polished or clean if it gets irritated by every rub. So if you get irritated by people's nasty comment, bad comment, bad attitude, negative attitude towards them, towards you, then you are not going to be polished. You are not going to be fine. You are not going to excel in your behavior. We need these things. You are like a mirror. You got to be irritated. You got to be polished by every rub of other people yourself. If you get irritated, annoyed, then you are nothing is going to happen to you. You cannot purify yourself. That's the important thing. Bear it in your mind. Yeah, you try to remember this. I'm not going to. Okay. Um, another another saying from Rumi. Rumi said, raise your words, not voice. It is the rain that grows flower, not thunder. This is my very favorite. This is my very favorite quote from Rumi. Rumi said, raise your word. Hmm. You talk, not voice. Hmm. When people raise their voice, it rather create chaos. It doesn't solve the problem. So what you have to do? Raise our words, not the voice. We need to talk about the problem, not shouting, hey, not not talking loud, hmm, not talking loud. We have to talk over the problem by our kind words. We have to raise our words with the wisdom, solution, not voice. When we raise our voice, then we are not solving our problem. We are creating our problem. But when we raise our words, we solve our problem. So Rumi said, raise your words, not voice. And he said also, it is rain that grows flower. It is rain that grows flower, not thunder. So he compares the rains with raising your words and thunders with raising your voice. So that means rains grows the flower. Likewise, um, raising word um, solve the problem. Thunder never helps to grow the plant. That's it. So I think I have explained already. Okay. Next quote from Rumi is, what you seek is seeking you. Okay. What you are looking for, what you are looking for you. You are looking for something else. You remember what the things you are looking for are looking for you as well. So it works in both ways. So if you know what you are looking for, eh, then then if it is the right thing, then it will come back to you. It will come to you. It will reach you. So you got to find out if you are looking for right things, right people, right way, right path. If you look for the right path, right thing, right audience, right people, then they all look for you again. They all come back to you. They all come to you. So that's my explanation about this quote. And then, okay, another favorite quote is, you are born with you were born with wings. Why prefer to crawl through the life? Wow. Rumi said, you are a human being. You were born with wings. Hmm. Why you prefer to crawl through life? When you got wings, you should not crawl through your life. You have to fly. So that means we were born with the wings of potentiality. We got potential. Hey, we could do so many things. So why we have to crawl? Why we have to live our life like a disabled person? We have to use the most of our potential to live our life to the fullest. That's the important thing. Some people do not do anything. They think they are not capable of doing things. So in this, in here, Rumi says, no, you got two wings, you got two legs, you got two hands. Use them. When you have two legs, you cannot sit down like a disabled person. You have to walk. You have to walk miles and miles. You have to walk until you reach your destination. You cannot sit down doing nothing at home. You got two legs. You were born with two legs to walk to get your destinations. You were born with two hands. So hold up your hands. Hold out your hands to embrace the universe. Do something. When you are born with two legs, you cannot sit cross-legged. Cross legs. You have to walk. The same thing. So I think Rumi tried to say that you were born with huge amount of potentiality, so use them. Okay, that's done. Okay, another thing, Rumi said, okay, this is a good advice from Rumi. Rumi said, be empty of worrying. Think of who created thought. Simply speaking, be empty of worry. Think of what created thought. Why do you stay in prison when the door is so wide open? Again, Rumi said, you should not worry about the things, worry about paying things, worry about this and that. You have to, you got to know, or you must know where the worry comes from. Find out the creator of worry. What causes worry? What causes depression? Find out them. Find out these causes and eliminate them. Once you find out the root causes of worriness, I mean creator of the worries, then you can kill them. So the door is open. Hmm. Door is open. Go out and find out. Done. Okay. Uh, another quote from Rumi. Hold on a second. When someone beats a rag, the blows are not against the rag, but against the dust in it. Wow, amazing. This quote is wonderful. I mean, you know, when people, I mean, the carpenter, when they beat the rugs or carpets, yeah, the dust come out of the carpets. So if the carpet is not beaten, or if the carpet is not beaten by the carpenters, then how come how come the carpet is going to be, going to be clean? So that's mean to clean the carpet, the clean the carpet, you have to beat the carpets, or beat the rocks. Then the dust will go away. Then the dust will fly away. So that's the same thing applied to ourselves as well. If we are not criticized, if we are not hurt, then our dust will not go away. So we should not be worried about people criticizing us or blah blah blah. So that's the thing. Yeah. um Another quote is from Rumi. The cure for pain is the pain. The cure for pain is the pain. How come the cure for the pain, cure for the pain is pain? How come it is possible? We have to understand this content. Yeah, the pain, when we cope with the pain, it might be physical pain, it might be mental pain, or it might be any grief. So when we cope with the grief, pain, physical and mental pain, then it's a cure. So pain, when the pain is cured, the pain is cured when we can live with the pain, when we know how to do the pain management. You got to do this pain management by ourselves. We have to go through the pain management. So this is why pain is a cure for pain. Pain is not cure for a pain until you don't know how to deal with the pain. I think I have explained these things to you. Uh, Another quote from Jalaluddin Rumi: "Don't grieve. Anything you lose comes round in another form." So Rumi said here, we should not worry over the loss of anything. Whatever we lose, will come back in different form. If you lose anything, you will find it in another form. If you lose, for example, if anybody becomes blind, yeah, his other organs become more active. So the loss of his sight turns into the different form, trans itself in different forms, or so many things. Yeah, so you never lose anything. Whatever you lose come back in a different place. It could be your job, it could be your partner, it could be your house, it could be anything. If you lose your wife, then you'll find another wife. It will come in different form, or you may find somebody else, somebody else in the form your wife or somebody else. So nothing is lost in this universe. Everything comes back in different form, different shape. We are not lost at all. So I have explained this one. I got other quotes to um, um, explain as well. Um, Rumi said, "Beauty surrounds us." Okay, we are surrounded by the beautiful things. So if beauty surrounds us, what you have to do, you have to find out beauty, maybe beauty that surrounds us, and we have to train our eyes to see the beauty surrounded by beauty around us. Otherwise you won't be able to see. So when you walk out of your house and go in your garden, then you can see the roses, flowers, and other things. So you have to get ready to see the beauty around you, or the beauty that surrounded by you. Okay, so that's done. Another thing Rumi says, those who do not want to change, let them sleep. Okay, that's amazing. Whoever do not want to change themselves, let them sleep. They will never wake up and change themselves. Okay. Mm, another quote from Rumi. In this quote, Rumi said there is a truth. Whatever you love, you are. The truth is, um, whatever you love, you are. That's a simple thing. You are what you love, or whatever you love, you are. That's it. Um, Another quote. Um, okay, just a second. Not only the thirsty seek the water as well seeks the thirsty. Not only you seek the water also seek you. Not only you look for the water looks for you as well. Okay. Mm, Another quote from Rumi: open your hands if you want to be held. Okay. If you want anybody to give you a hug, or embrace you, or be your friend, if you want anybody to be your friend, first of all you have to hold your hand out. First of all you have to embrace the people. you have to you have to be ready. You got to be ready to embrace people, and to do this you have to hold your hands out. Otherwise you cannot hold anybody. So it is your job to embrace people. People won't come to you. Nothing won't come to you until you are ready. Until you are ready to embrace people, things, or until you start. Nothing is going to start first to come to you. You have to start first. You have to begin with the things. You have to walk out of your house to get to your destination. If you don't walk out and you don't start work, you will never reach your destination. So you have to do the things first. That's done. um okay, another thing is okay, I have to read it to you. um be a lamp or a lifeboat or a ladder. Help someone's soul to heal. Walk out of your house like a shepherd. Okay, Rumi said here, be a lamp. Be a lamp for who? Be a lamp for the people who are in darkness. Like when you candle, when you lit up a candle in your house, yeah, then means that means you are going to the brighten the entire house. So you have to be like this, yeah. And then he said, be a lifeboat. So why do you have to be a lifeboat? Why you have to be a lifeboat? If you are a lifeboat, then somebody would be able to cross the river or ocean by using you. So that's amazing. This is humanity. Or be a ladder. So if you become a ladder, somebody will go to the somebody would walk up to the top of his house by using you. So all you have to do is to be is to do is to be a lamp, lifeboat, ladder, whatever you can. You have to be like a shepherd. Always you try to help out people. That's what Rumi said. And as a good person, everybody should be like this. Everybody should be like a lamp, lamp, ladder, lifeboat, eh, boat. Yeah. So we have to be like this because we are human beings. We are here for other human beings, other fellow human beings. That's what Rumi. That's the message is from Rumi's this quote. Okay. Um. Then then Rumi said again, when you feel a peaceful joy, that's when you are near truth. When you are near the truth, then you feel bliss of peace. When you are far away from the truth, then you are not living a peaceful life. So to get the blissful life, eh, you have to find out the truth. Truth only free you from all this fear and all these negative things. So you cannot feel mental peace until you are there. You know where you are? Until you are there means until you are the you reach the state of the truth. That is the important thing. Okay. um Rumi, I like this quote from Rumi. Rumi said, don't feel lonely. The entire universe is within inside you." That's amazing. Rumi said, "We should not feel lonely. Entire universe is within ourselves." Okay, how uh, how it is possible? It is possible if it is possible if you feel that way. I mean, if you feel that way. I don't feel lonely because you know why? Because I think in the same way as Rumi thinks. When I walk down the road, hmm, I'm not lonely because I'm not walking down the road by myself. Under my feet there is there is my path. There is under my feet is the feet is earth, planet earth. Over my head is sky. When I walk alone, I'm not alone. It sounds like I'm walking alone, but I'm not alone. I can see beautiful plants around me. I can see the birds. I can see the birds flying in the sky. Huh. I can see the beautiful clouds floating, changing into different form, turning into different shapes. I enjoy them. So I'm never lonely. Entire universe is in me. I feel it. So when I feel it, when I want to feel it, it's a matter of practice. Even if I'm in my bed alone, sleeping, or I'm asleep in my bed alone, I'm not alone. I can see the whole universe within me. When I'm in my bed, I can hear the sounds of rain. I can hear the song of the bird. I can hear birds singing. I can hear the leaves falling from the trees. So I'm not alone. Everything is within me. Everything is around me. So how come I'm alone? People feel alone when they do not realize these sort of things, and when they cannot communicate with the universe, and when people feel lonely, and people feel lonely when they think they are lonely, but they are not lonely. At some points we are lonely. When you are alone in the bathroom doing something, you are lonely. You understand? Yeah. But are you really lonely? No. So loneliness is the state of mind. If you feel you are lonely, then you are lonely. People think they are lonely when they lose their family, when they lose their partners, when they are away from their family life or children. Eh, that's the time they feel lonely. But if they define the loneliness, hmm, with the wisdom, then they are not lonely at all. It's our people got a habit of thinking that they are lonely because they live alone. But that's not the truth. That's not how you are lonely. You think about yourself. You think about yourself wisely, then you are not lonely. If you become one with the nature, then you are never lonely. I can give you assurance that you are never lonely if you become one with the nature. If you walk When you walk by the riverside, do you think you are lonely? No. The river, you are walking by the riverside. The river is within you. The flow of the water in the river is river is with you. While when you walking, the flow of the river is flowing alongside with you. So you are not lonely. See, when you walk by the riverside, you see the fish swimming in the river, swan swimming in the river. You can see the birds flying over your head. So how come you are lonely? You are not lonely. Is the state of your mind. If you think you are lonely, you are lonely. Get the whole universe within you. You are never lonely. Yeah. I live alone, but I never feel lonely. I used to feel lonely. I used to feel lonely. I used to feel loneliness, but I'm not lonely. Yeah. I think what is called loneliness is blessing for me. It expanded my life. Hmm. So I embrace everything when I get up in the morning. I appreciate everything I got. I count my blessing before before sleeping. By counting blessing one by one, I fall asleep. Our life is blessing. So let's say again, quoting Rumi's statement, be a lamp or a lifeboat or a ladder. Hmm. Help someone's souls to heal. Walk out of your house like a shepherd every morning. Hmm. Walk out of your house like a shepherd. Look for someone whom you can help. Look for someone whom you can give assistance. And that's how you give meaning to your life. So finally, I would like to say one thing. Try to study Rumi. Hopefully, it would change your life, way of life. So you cannot believe that how popular Rumi is across the world. Rumi is not only popular among Muslim people, he is popular among white people. There are countless Rumi's followers across the world. You can't believe it. So I advise you one thing, or I suggest you that you must not read the Bengali translation of Masnavi Sharif. I mean Rumi's book Masnavi. You may misguide it. So try to read Rumi's works translated into English. If you do so, then you would know. That's it. So we have I've discussed so many things. So today's topic is lies, lessons from Rumi. Okay. So Rumi is Rumi. You can't compare Rumi with anybody. You get guidance from Rumi, and your life would be worth it. So study Rumi. That would help. So I'm going to end my live today. Thank you so much. See you soon. Next time I'll bring up another live on different topic. So thank you. Going to end the live.